I want us to finish with reflexive verbs today though. So as a topic. So I'm gonna do this. Usually I would give him more time when he work, but we're gonna do it today and put it to bed. So if you have already done it or you've done some of it, then send it by WhatsApp. Right? Or if you prefer to send it by email, my last name, then my first name, Ramlagan, Michelle@gmail.com, right? I got homework from one photograph from one person. No, I know there were other assignments pending, so some people did those first, right? So I got one photo from one person. So if you think you sent it and I didn't confirm with you that I received it, then I didn't receive it, right? So just double check if you emailed it. Double check the spelling perhaps of my name. It's Ramlagan, L-A, not L-O, right? All right, so today's agenda, these sentences, then the congratulations, how we congratulate people in Spanish, and some different contexts in which we might do so. We still have Mexico to talk about, some specifics. And then next week, we're going to start, the grammar topic is stem changing, radical changing verbs. So the vocabulary topic will be restaurants and ordering at restaurants. So I want to give you that link to that vocab list for next week, right? Okay, let's start these here now. So I'm going to give you vocab words and you are going to tell me this in a sentence. We are not putting it into Google and asking it to tell us in Spanish. We are doing it ourselves, right? All right. So what is the word for always? Anybody knows the word for always? Great. Siempre, right? What is the verb for to shower? Bañarse is to bathe. Bañarse is to bathe, right? So we're really looking for ducharse. But if you gave me a sentence with bañarse, I would take it, right? And then in the morning, which is an idiomatic expression. Anybody knows how we would say this in the morning? By the way, if anybody wants to review time, you can look at the yesterday's Spanish class video where we went over telling time, right? How do we say in the morning when we don't have a specific time? Well, here we sort of mean every morning. So I would prefer if you said por la mañana. Right? But yeah, okay. If you said en la mañana, I think if you translate it online, it will tell you en la mañana. Right? De la mañana is like saying AM. So we would need a time for that. All right. So I've given you vocabulary words. Tell me how to say number one in Spanish. 1 minute. Right? So we know the vocabulary. So then what do we have to remember to do? We have to remember to conjugate the verb to show who is doing the action. And we have to remember to put in the reflexive pronoun that is appropriate for the subject. Right? So we come over here. Slowly but surely. Right, here we go. All right, so number one. Siempre me ducho. Right? Let me take on the me for now. So duchar, we take off the AR, we add yo for I, right? Por la mañana, right? Tell me how I know the reflexive pronoun has to be me. Because the subject is what? I, right? So yo always takes the subject pronoun me, right? So I put in me ducho. Now if you want to put yo in front of it, here like yo, well, that sounds kind of weird. Siempre, yo me ducho. Grammatically, I guess it could work, but most likely we're going to leave it out, right? The link at the bottom was for you to be able to view these sentences during the week, but we're doing it now, so you don't need that link anymore, right? All right, if at any point you have questions, tell me, right? All right, number 2. What word do we say, or what word do we use to ask how many? Quanto, very good. So how many times? Literally, one time is vez, una vez, right? But times is plural, so it would be veces. The Z changes to C-E-S, right? And then since now veces is feminine and plural, quanto becomes quantas, right? Or you could just memorize quantas veces for how many times, right? Okay, so quantas, get to accent because it's a question basis. All right, do you brush your teeth? And the verb for to brush one's teeth is cepillarse. Okay, so take a try at number 2, put it in the chat, right? Even if it is not perfect, that is fine. The goal is just to practice and see what it is we are forgetting so we can remember it better, right? 1 minute, try number 2. How many times quantas veces? Right? You could either reason out the grammar or just memorize that how many times is quantas veces, right? All right. Do you brush your teeth? Well, we just put in you brush your teeth question mark, right? So the 2 form of cepillar, the AR endings OAS, so cepillas, right? And then it's you, so quantas veces te cepillas. Assuming this, we're assuming we're taking all the U's to be informal, right? Right. Now, is it tus dientes? I didn't go over your teeth with you. Sorry about that. Is it tus dientes? What grammatical mistake am I making here? Right. It's los dientes, right? Because for body parts, we use the article in Spanish. So it's always how many times you brush the teeth. Did you hurt the hand? Did you wash the face? Right? Rather than you or yours or theirs, right? All right, third one. If anybody is lost at any point, please say. She goes to bed early. What is the word for early? So this sentence will just have 3 words. In English, it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 words. In Spanish, we'll just have 3 words when we translate it. What's the word for early? It starts with a T. Well, I guess so does late. Temprano. Very good. All right. All right, so temprano. And what is it to go to bed? What is that verb? I guess we could put in ea to make it clear. So then it would have 4 words. Acostarse, very good. Now acostarse is stem changing. Right? So let's do number 3 together since it's stem changing. All right, so she would be ea. I guess it would make sense to put it in so that we don't confuse she with he with or it, right? So ea, okay, so acostarse. The stem becomes A-C-U-E-S-T, and then we add the endings for ea. So what is the ending for the ea form? It's an ea verb, so O-A-S-A. All right, so ea questa. And what is the pronoun? What is the reflexive pronoun that goes there to agree with ea? Se, very good, right. So ea se acuesta temprano. Right? Okay, so 1 to 4 are pretty normal, right? 5 to, so I'm gonna skip 4, right? You can do 4 on your own if you want and send it, no problem. But in the interest of time, we clear on how to do the first, this is basic, right? Straightforward. Now 5 to 8 is testing our knowledge of what to do with the reflexive pronoun when there's an infinitive involved, right? All right. So first, let me just remind you all of what happens when two verbs come together and they have the same subject, right? So for instance, if I say, I want, that's a verb, right? To want is a verb. And I want to go to the grocery store. Can you all see two verbs in this sentence? Where are the two verbs? What are the two verbs? I just told you one is want. What is the other one? To go, right. Okay, another English example. I like to sing. What are the two verbs? Like and to sing. Good. Right. So to go and to sing, right? As opposed to I go, and then the form of the verb is go, or you sing, or she sings, and then the form of the verb is sing or sings. Here, the form of the verb is to plus the verb, to plus the verb, right? So this is what form? This is the infinitive. Okay, so when we have two verbs coming together, it's the same subject. The second verb is in the infinitive. I want to go. I like to sing. We wouldn't say, I go to the grocery. Or I like she sings. We wouldn't say that, right? Or I sing, because it's me who likes to sing, right? That is also wrong. Okay, so be aware that the to form of the verb is the infinitive, and that means when you translate it into Spanish, it stays as the AR, ER, or IR form. We do not cross out the ending and add another ending. Okay, anybody confused by that? Everybody remembers that? If anybody is confused, you have to tell me. Can I erase this, or is anybody writing something down? I'm going to erase it in 10 seconds, right? Okay, let's erase it. All right, so now look at number 5. How many verbs are in the sentence? I'm not changing the slide, I'm just rubbing off these scribbles on the side here. Yeah, and number 5, how many verbs are in the sentence? Guys, look at number 5. How many verbs are in the sentence? I can't concentrate. How many verbs? I can is a verb, right? I can sing, I cannot. I can read, I can write. No, guys, there are 2 verbs. Can is a verb. Because it means to be able to. And concentrate is the other verb. Right? If I rewrote it, if instead of I can't concentrate, I said I am unable to concentrate, would we see that is 2 verbs there? Right? Would we see that I am is a verb and to concentrate is another verb? Well, to be unable is the verb. To be able or to be unable to. In this case, it's to be unable to. Right? All right. So I can't. How do we say I can't in Spanish? What verb do we use? We use poder, to be able to. And what verb? Right, no puedo, excellent. And what verb is it to concentrate? Because this is a personal action that we do, concentrarse, right? Right, so take a try. Remember that the reflexive pronoun has to agree with the doer of the action. Christina has helped us with the first part. The first part is no puedo. Take a try with the rest of it. All right, so this is number 5 because I skipped 4. No puedo. All right, how do we complete the sentence to convey concentrate? Okay, good. So do we have to conjugate concentrate? No, so it stays as concentrar. All right. And then it's yo doing the action. So the pronoun becomes me. Right? Now, when we have an infinitive, we remember the pronoun is added to the end, right? Okay, let's look at number 7. 7 is a little more straightforward. I want to go to bed. Can you see 2 verbs there? All right, so I want comes from querer. Right? So this is a stem changing verb, so it'll be quiero. Right? And then to go to bed, we know what that is already because we used it already earlier today. The infinitive form is acostarse. So what is it to complete the sentence? Take half a minute and think about it. To match you. Right? Uh-oh. Right. So number 6. All right, let's do one more. This was, I skipped 6. Number 7. Number 7. I want to go to bed. So quiero acostar. All right. Okay, let's look back at number 6. Relaxing here is impossible. Is there a clear subject in this question? No, there's no clear subject. So that means if we don't know if it's I relax or you relax or they relax, then we just have to keep it with C, right? What is it to relax? Relajarse. All right, so relaxing here. We will just keep the infinitive, right? So we're doing number 6 now, right? So we will keep relajarse for relaxing, right? Relajarse. Aquí. Eso está. Imposible. Right? Do I say eso está imposible? If I want to convey that is a fact that is impossible to relax here, I would use is, right? If I'm just saying it's my opinion, like I don't think I can relax here, then probably is that, But if it's like a terrible place, nobody can relax, there's always noise, it's impossible, right? All right, what do we want to go to next? Let's do a couple with present participles. So that's 9 and 10. All right, so earlier, somebody gave us, I can't remember who it was, the verb for to bathe, it was banyarse. So how do we say I am bathing? There are two options for how we can organize the words. We can either put the pronoun on the end, or if that's too tricky and it stresses us out, we can put it at the beginning. All right, so Banyar says to bathe. I am bathing means I'm doing it right now. So I need continuous, present continuous tense, right? So that is a star plus the present participle. Okay, so let me clear up here a bit. Okay, so it's in our attention to 9 and 10, right? Which is using the reflexive pronoun with a present participle, right? So Banyar says the verb, the first one, and then lavarse los manos, right? Sorry, las manos. No, los manos. Oh God, guys, I can't remember. Is mano masculine or feminine? I know it ends in an O, but is it a tricky one? Yes, it's last, right? Yeah. Okay. No, it's last. It's last. You all can double check online. Las manos. That's what I thought, and then I wrote it down and it looked funny, right? But mano ends in an O, but it's a feminine noun, right? Like photo. Yes, it's la photo. And then there are the opposites like el dia and um I can't remember the others right now. Okay, so I am bathing. Estoy, because I'm doing it right now, and the present participle of bañar. How long ago did you all do present continuous tense? Was this back in Form 1? So estoy, is it, do we need a refresher in it? Estoy bañándome, right? Let me fix the spelling, and we will have to put in an accent. We'll have to put in the accent by the E, right? Okay, so let's look and talk about why we put in this accent. So before we added the pronoun, estoy bañando. The verb ends in an O, the word ends in an O. So the stress naturally falls here. We don't say bañando, we don't say bañando, we say bañando. Stress falls on that highlighted E, right? Now when I add in an ME here, now this new word ends in a vowel, the stress is going to move to the O because that's the rule of Spanish. If it ends in a vowel, emphasize the second to last syllable, right? So it would become bañándome. But that's not what we want. We want to keep the stress on the previous A where it was before me was attached, right? So it becomes estoy bañándome. Okay? Another option is me estoy bañando, right? If the accent is too stressful for us to think about, me estoy bañando. Okay, questions, comments, concerns? And the next one, quickly, I am washing my hands. Estoy. This is 10. Yeah. So estoy lavando. And I add me again, right? So same thing, same rule with the accent. Add an accent on the A to keep the stress over there. Or I can say me estoy lavando los manos. Las manos. All right. Questions, comments, concerns? All right, I'm going to pause for a minute and let everybody catch up, and then we'll do, what's the time? All right, we could do one of the commands or two of the commands, and then we'll leave the rest of the exercise. Well, actually, it's three questions. So, ¿a qué país o a qué lugar te gustaría viajar y por qué? So, what country / place would you like to travel to and why? Right. Next one. Jamás ha visitado un país de habla española. So, jamás has visitado, or maybe just has visitado un país de habla española. So, have you ever visited a speaking country? Sorry, a Spanish speaking country. All right. So, have you ever visited a Spanish speaking country? Which would you like to visit? Right? And obviously, if you answer this question, you need to say why as well, even though it doesn't specifically say por qué, right? All right. ¿En qué país te gustaría pasar tus próximas vacaciones? In what country would you like to spend your next vacation? And then why? So all of these are variations of the same question, right? If you look at the screen and you can understand one and you would have no trouble if you heard it answering it, then perhaps you don't need to take that one down. Focus on the one or ones that if you heard them, you're hearing them for the first time today, you have no idea what they say, right? So in what country would you like to spend your next vacation? Why? Right? All right, and obviously we are going to say Mexico. We're going to give reasons for our answers on the next slides, right? So a minute here for you to note whichever version of this question you prefer, right? But remember, depending on the examiner asks, you could hear, for your orals, you could hear any one of these, right? But they're all basically the same answer that you would prepare for them. All right, so the first thing we need to say is, I want to visit Mexico, right? How do we say I want to visit Mexico? We can say, quiero visitar. No, you don't need to take this down as yet. What we're writing on the screen, you could take down, right? So, quiero visitar a Mexico, right? Why? Porque I would like to go to the beaches of Cancun, perhaps, right? So me gustaría we already said, oh, this should be visitar, right? Not visitas. Sorry about that. That's an R, not an S. Right. So maybe we could change this. Well, no, let's put it here. Me gustaría ir a las playas de Cancun. So these are very famous. It's a very famous what area in Mexico that gets a lot of tourists, right? So that's one thing we could say, right? You could also say they are very beautiful. Son bellísimas. if you want. All right, can we go to the next slide? Okay, so next slide. Okay, okay, so now we're going to try the delicious food and the delicious drinks, right? So what will we say? What is if you want to try food, what verb do we use for to try? Probar, great. Okay, so me gustaría, I would like, just now we said quiero, so let's use something different, right? Me gustaría probar los platos deliciosos. Como, what dishes did we just see in the little video? Or what do you associate with Mexico? We could say tamales, we could say empanadas, we could say tacos, right? Y las bebidas deliciosas. Como, such as, okay, so there's a drink called agua fresca, which sounds delicious, but also sounds like a real pain to make, where you blend and strain watermelon, right? And it's chill and probably has some lime in there. So this is it. You can see them over here. This is them. Agua fresca. And then also la horchata. I don't need the la. Right? A milk drink. Right? Oops. All right, everybody has what they need from here. We can move on. All right, so let's go to the next slide, right? Okay, why else would we want to visit? So when you see this slide, what do you think of? What event comes to mind? Day of the Dead, great. All right, so how are we going to explain? We want to go to Mexico because we love the culture. Right, so voy a Mexico. ¿Por qué? Because, well, we could be boring and say me gusta mucho la cultura. Or we could say me encanta la cultura, right? Como, such as, so we're given an example, right? El Día de los Muertos. And all of its traditions, right? So, y todas sus tradiciones. Right, we could go to the next one. Oh, you know, one term from the food slide that I didn't mention, but you could make a note of it, right? Para probar. So again, to try la gastronomía. Gastronomía is just a fancy way to refer to the cuisine of a place, right? All the fancy food it has to offer. In English, the word is gastronomy. We don't use it often, but it means all the special food of that particular place. Right? All right, can we go to the next slide? Anybody still writing? Okay, so I'm clearing this away. And okay, so we have Museo Nacional de Antropología, and I have a nice little video we could watch since I'm sure we need it. Right, it's actually, sorry, it is the wrong place. This is the museum and it has its own little, so it's not a video, it's like a little tour. This is the museum, my bad, it's the website, right? And it has some images of what you might see in the museum. Right, archaeological finds, sculptures, tools, etc. As well as other images of what you might see, right? This is what it looks like. It looks very cool and serene, right? Water features. All right, so what are we going to say here? All right, so we used encanta just now. So could we say me interesa? Right, so me interesa mucho. La cultura. Oh, we already said cultura. So los museos, right? Y quiero visitar, right? El Museo Nacional de Antropología. Right? And if the name is too much for us to remember, we could just say we want to visit the museums, right? We will get more marks when we're talking about a Spanish-speaking country if we could be specific about the food, specific about the things we would do there or see there, places we would go there, right? Now, I think I have some other sites with pyramids, but I think we'll stop with this one as an example. Right. Okay, so everybody has this noted as an example of what you could do in Mexico. What's the next Spanish speaking country you all think we should take a look at? Ooh, Panama, Honduras. That's great. We'll do both. All right. So why don't we take a break here? Another short break, another 3 minutes, right? And then when we come back, we can move to the congratulations. How do we congratulate people, right? So, me encanta ir de compras, right? To go shopping. Por eso, visitaría al centro comercial. There should be an accent on the last I in visitaría, right? Que se llama Antea in Mexico, right? Any of y'all have pet hamsters? That is unrelated to the Mexico topic. I'm just asking if any of y'all have pet hamsters. I put an accent on the last I in Vistaria, right? I would visit, and an accent on the E, right? Any tips for raising a hamster? Don't bathe them in water. Okay, that's very valuable to know. Great. Okay, everybody has this point noted. They need a sand bath. Oh my goodness. Okay. Wow. People should not just give pets to anyone, you know. All right. So the next thing on our list is congratulations. Please keep the hamster tips coming. That would be appreciated. And here are these nice aunties, and they're all congratulating you, right? So the first one is like, congratulations on your exam results. Congratulations, you won a competition. You worked hard. You deserve this. I'm very proud of you, right? So how do we say any or all of these things in Spanish? Yeah, guys, it was 3 minutes. And then we took an extra piece to talk about the mall in Mexico. Sorry. All right. That's okay. Those are good. All right. So we could say felicidades a ti, right? Right. So congratulations to you, right? Now, if I want to say for your results, 1 second. Right. So if I want to say congratulations for your exam results, I could say felicidades. So this for is for. Tus well, we can say buenas notas, right? Because we know buenas notas, good marks. All right. If I want to say congratulations, you won the competition. What do we think about that? How would we say you won the competition? How would, okay, what is to win, guys? To win is ganar, right? So how do I put that in the past tense? All right. So I could say now felicitaciones. Right? I could say has ganado, you have won el concurso. Right? Okay, let me take out the rest of this. So we'll have enough space. Okay, so sometimes, you know, you get a situation where you're asked how to say congratulations, right? All right. Next one, at you all know, enhorabuena, right? So somebody won a prize. Buena senora. So ma'am, which is short for madam. Right? Till they're on the end. Gano. Okay, let's go with usted. Usted. We don't need usted, but I want to get the accents on the O. So gano el premio. Okay. All right. What good luck you have? Now you know good luck is buena suerte. Ah, how is it as ganado? Sure. This is you have one. This is perfect tense. Haber plus the past participle, right? Right? Now, if you have not done, we will revise perfect tense. If you haven't done perfect tense before, you could just note it as an example. And you could instead say ganas, because it's you won. You change different. You won the prize. Ganaste el concurso. Or you won the competition. Ganaste, right? All right, you want to say to your friend what good luck you have. So you would say to your friend, que buena suerte. Accent on the E, right? Because good luck is buena suerte. Tienes. And if you put an exclamation mark at the end, you need an upside down exclamation mark at the beginning, right? But I can't do that, so I'll just put a regular one and you will fix it in your note, right? All right, what else we need to be able to say that we didn't say as yet? Congratulations on your wedding. All right, so just like before we said por buenas notas, we could say por tu boda, I guess, right? Okay. All right, so for next week, as I said, we want to do term changing verbs or radical verbs. And the theme we're going to be practicing with is restaurants, right? Ordering in restaurants, choosing restaurants, going to restaurants, conversations in restaurants, etc. So I'm sharing with you the link to the vocabulary. And your job is to go through it and make notes, right? Y'all are in Form 4 and 5, so it's very possible y'all have met a lot of this already. So for example, if you know that el tenedor is the fork, and if you know that el cuchillo is the knife, then you do not need to write it down, right? You can focus on the ones that you don't know, right? Those are the ones you can take down, at least nouns wise, right? Then there are a number of expressions. So I would actually like to go through these expressions with you in a minute so we can make sure we understand what they are saying, right? Things the server might say, things you could say, questions you could have about the menu, etc. Right? Things you might say after you get your meal, and so on. And then if there's anything you could think of you want to say that's not here, you could tell me, right? All right. Fruits, vegetables, grains, proteins, dairy, breakfast foods, lunch, things you might order for lunch, sides you might order, desserts you might order, dinner you might order, drinks you might order, right? A lot of these you will know. So if you know them, you don't need to write them down again, right? Next week, I think the scenario will be us in a restaurant. We will start with the items on the table, making sure we could say those. And then we might also want to do a conversation between people at the restaurant and the waiter. So the expressions will be important, right? All right, so let's look at these expressions together. Puedo ver el menú, por favor? So can I see the menu, please? ¿Cuál es la comida típica de esta región? What is the typical food of this region? So you're traveling. This might be a good travel question, right? ¿Qué me recomienda? What do you recommend? You say that to the waiter, the server, right? Now, when it comes to restrictions, you might say, I'm vegetarian, soy vegetariano or vegetariana, right? Right. Do you have any vegetarian dishes? ¿Tienen algún plato vegetariano? Right? If you have an allergy, tengo alergia a, I think this accent is on the wrong letter. No, I don't. All right. What are some things people have common allergies to? Okay, seafood, peanuts, oysters, right. How do we say those things in Spanish? Guys, uh, all right. Peanuts to eat, not peanuts as in you work for peanuts. How do you say mushrooms? How do we say, okay, if we go with seafood, we could say mariscos, right? We could say champiñones. Yeah, I mean, you might want to flesh out a dialogue with some words. You'll find stuff lower down, right? Okay. So I do not eat. So you're saying what you don't eat. No como. For instance, people might not eat beef, or they might not eat chicken, they might not eat meat, right? They could explain what that is, right? A moment, please. Un momento, por favor, which works in many different contexts, right? Right. Necesitamos más tiempo para decidir. We need more time to decide. So you're choosing what you want to have, but you're still looking at the menu. Estoy o estamos listos para ordenar, para pedir. We are ready to order. I'm going to take off ordenar. Right? We're going to order at the restaurant, pedir, right? All right. Quisiera, I would like. Can you give me something? Puedo darme. Whatever you want. Una cuchara, un tenedor, a fork, a spoon, whatever, right? ¿Cuál es el plato del día? What is the special? So restaurants could have a special for that particular day, right? What is the daily special? Let me put in daily. What is the daily special? Because del día means daily, right? Is there a house special? So hay alguna especialidad de la casa. So anything that this restaurant is very good at making. ¿Qué está incluido? What is included? So, does it have fries? Does it come with a salad? Does it include a drink, like a combo? If you order a combo, what is in a combo? Viene con ensalada. Does it come with a salad? What is the soup of the day? ¿Cuál es la sopa del día? Things the server might say to you. What do you want to eat? ¿Qué desea comer? ¿Qué desea beber? What do you want to drink? Or they could just say para beber or para comer. ¿Qué quieres would also work. ¿Están listos para ordenar? Are you ready to order? I'm gonna change this to pedir, right? ¿Qué quiere? What would you like? I'm sorry, we do not have something. So, lo siento or lamento, no tenemos whatever it is, right? Or we could say no lo tenemos to convey it. How is everything? ¿Cómo está todo? So they brought out your food, you're eating, they come back, they ask, ¿cómo está todo? Everything is good. Todo está bien. And of course, this could also be a sentence. And you say, todo está bien. No question mark, right? Buen provecho, enjoy your meal, which is like bon appetit in French, right? This is the last group of expressions. So, estuvo delicioso, it was delicious. So estuvo delicioso, this is from estar, right? So that means I found it was delicious. If it's always delicious, then fue delicioso, right? Not an important distinction. Both are fine. It's just, this is a Spanish class. We think about grammar sometimes, so I'm explaining it, right? All right, both of those would work in your dialogue or whatever, but they just have a slightly different meaning. Okay. This is not what I ordered. Esto no es lo que he pedido. This is not what I have ordered. Or instead of he pedido, you can say pidió, right? Simple past tense. No gracias, estoy a reventar. No gracias, estoy lleno. No, thank you, I am full. And if you are female, you would say estoy llena, right? Tienen una caja para llevar. So do you have a to-go box? A box for the extras, right? La propina está incluida. The tip is included. Nos gustaría pagar juntos. We'd like to pay together. Nos gustaría pagar por separado. We'd like to pay separately. Credit card, por la tarjeta de crédito. Buy credit card. Somebody might ask you débito, crédito, debit or credit. Now here's a little outdated expression that you might want to know anyway. Acepta usted cheques de viajero. Traveler's checks. Do you all know what that is? Have you all met this term before in English? Right. So sometimes when people are traveling, at least this is probably before credit cards were so popular, right? So just, be aware of this phrase if you hear it. So you would go to the bank and you wanted 1,000 US to go abroad with you, right? And they would give you like a piece of paper, like it would kind of look like a check, but it would be a traveler's check. So it's not made out to anybody, but when you go to a bank, you could deposit it, or when you go to a store, you could pay with it, and whomever you sign it over to, they would get it, right? It would go to them. So it's like a check. All right, señora, la cuenta, por favor. So, madam, the bill, please. Right, so traveler's checks were just ways of paying that were popular before credit cards. Okay, I think that's it for the expressions, and everything else is just a bunch of nouns. All right, any questions, any expressions you did not see, but you think are important and you want to raise? Okay, so please, this is the homework. Looking at the vocabulary list, making notes from the vocabulary list, right? Next week, I would like us to do some situations. I'm sending a link again with relating to the restaurant scenario, right? So I will say something like, the waiter comes to the table, what does he say to you? As you walk in, what does he say to you, right? I do have some other expressions to share with you, but probably not tonight because we're tired, right? All right, so if you have any questions, you could remain and ask those. Other than that, I think we are done for tonight, right? So today we looked at some reflexive sentences. We looked at what we do in Mexico, how we congratulate people, and some restaurant vocabulary, right? Next week we continue with that topic. All right, guys, take care. Enjoy the rest of your night.